Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. Thank you all for joining me once again. So there's an actor by the name of Jon Cryer, I believe, and he was apparently one of the actors of Two and a Half Men. It was a sitcom that came out some years ago, and on the Bill Maher show, he essentially told Bill Maher that he supports children and young people transitioning. You know, he supports young people in the transgender phenomena transitioning over to the opposite sex, and that he compared that transitioning to a the left hand and the right hand. At one point, he argued to Bill that many years ago, people were being forced, who were left-handed, naturally left-handed, were being forced to use their right hand. And so essentially he's comparing being forced, a left-handed being forced to use their right hand to young people being transitioning over to the opposite sex, getting their bodies altered. You already know where that's going. You already know where that's going. Let's get right into this article and hear what his argument actually is. And then we're going to get, and then we're going to get into the commentary, because when I read this right up front, I already knew that the idea behind it was no comparison whatsoever. But I'm not going to jump before the horse. Let's get right into this. Actor Jon Cryer, defended allowing children to become transgender by comparing the phenomenon to people who are left-handed, arguing that once society stopped forcing left-handed people to write with their right hands, quote, left-handedness shot up. Oh, that's a great phenomenon, right? Naturally suggesting that's the way it is supposed to be for transgender children. Quote, there's a societal suppression. It's like left-handedness, Cryer told Bill Maher of transgenderism. Being left-handed was suppressed for thousands of years amongst human beings. And whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. I do know that what I do know is that it's been historically viewed as negative if you were left-handed. That was viewed as something negative. Why, I don't fully know. I can't speak on that. But I know it was viewed as negative. It was not viewed as a good thing. I myself, I'm left-handed. Okay. I will say this about the whole concept of left-handedness. In the Bible, God used a left-handed king, a left-handed warrior rather, to stop a king. And the scripture, it's recorded in the book of Judges, and the individual's name was Ehud. He was one of the judges, I believe Ehud, he was one of the judges of Israel. And God used this left-handed judge, this left-handed warrior judge, to defeat the king. And the narrative specifically states he was left-handed. And I believe that God had that scripture placed in there on purpose to show that it doesn't matter if you're right hand or left-handed, he can still use you. But you get my point. My point is that whatever society deems to be right or wrong, is good or bad or whatever, God is, in my view, God is the one that makes the final say-so on that. But anyway, I digress. The point is that at one point, and probably to some extent now, being left-handed was considered bad. It was considered a bad thing, okay? So I kind of get what he's saying right there. I kind of get that. But to make the comparison to children transitioning over to the opposite, no, that's no comparison. But let's go on. He says, Cryer went on to say, apparently in the 30s, one scientist basically said, left-handedness doesn't actually do anything bad. Left-handedness shot up because people just stopped training themselves to be right-handed. I'm sorry. I read that already. This has happened societally. This has happened in the society before, and that's the closest analog that I can think of. The actor who is perhaps best known for portraying Alan Harper on Two and a Half Men added. Cryer made his bizarre comparison in response to a conversation he was having with Maher about children becoming transgender. And the article goes on into deeper detail. The Breitbart News article goes on into deeper detail with the conversation between these two. But let me just say here right up front, his argument here. Number one, this person being an actor, these actors, these Hollywood actors already are bizarre. A lot of them are, and twisted. It seems like there's something evil about the Hollywood itself. Just pure evil, nasty, just vile. No one, is there anyone pure in Hollywood? I mean, is there anyone who in Hollywood in terms of actors and directors and writers? Is there anyone in this realm of existence, okay, that can think pure? I mean, what is wrong with these people? But it's not surprising. Now, here's the deal. There is no comparison between people who are left-handed or were left-handed at one point in history, he says thousands of years ago, being forced to use their right hand, and now you saying that kids that want to transition over to the opposite sex or whatever, being forced to maintain the status, if you will. Okay, if I'm a male, a biological male, and I want to be a female as a child, I should have that right to transition. This is basically what he's supporting. I should have that right to transition over, okay, into the opposite sex, okay? I shouldn't be forced to live as a biological male. He's basically comparing being left-handers being forced to be use their right hand. Now, that's not even worth thinking about. That's not even worth arguing. In my opinion, it's not worth even arguing to compare the two. There is no comparison. Number one, these are children. These are children. And I'm being sane about this. I'm being sane and I'm being nice. Okay? I'm being nice. There is no comparison, sir. Okay? All right? When children transition over this way, that is a life-altering situation. They can't change back over. Whether or not he considered that or not, I don't know. But it seems to imply to me that he has not taken that into consideration after he made such a ludicrous comparison. Because if I'm being forced, using myself as a left-hander, if I'm being forced to use my right hand because society thinks that being left-handed is such evil and so evil and vile, and I'm being forced to use my right hand, I can assess to some logical degree that it's not going to alter my life. I mean, it may change some things up a little bit, but it's not going to alter my life. It's not going to alter me for the rest of my life. Okay, I think I'll be able to survive. Okay. This is not the left hand versus the right hand versus the left hand, sir. This is talking about the biological makeup of that child that could be jacked up for the rest of their life. Parents, real parents, parents who have a brain, parents who understand the difference between right and wrong, should be able to tell and should have the authority and the mental capacity to say, son, daughter, that's not good. You're not changing over. I'm going to try to get you some help. Or if they're saved, and God forbid if they're saved, because there's no way the kids be acting like this if they're saved. But it can happen. It can happen. They're Christians, right? Born again, spirit-filled Christians. No, we're going to pray about this. We're going to pray about this because something evil is about this. And no, I'm not going to have my son and daughter doing that. Okay? But apart from the spiritual aspects of it, the parents who have a sense of right and wrong and authority over their children, because they have authority, parents have authority over their children, not the government. The HELL with the government. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice. Because they want to run your life, God dog it. Okay? You're the parent. They're the parent. So the parents should put their foot down and say, no, son and daughter, you're not going to do this, okay? Now, this is not the left hand versus the right hand or right hand versus the left. No, 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 no. Something like this, if I allow something like this as a parent to occur in my child's life, it could alter them for the rest of their life. Because just what if later on in their life as adults, they decide that they want to go back to the normal processes of humanity, if you will. If they want to go back to the normal appearance that they had, more than likely they're not going to be able to do that. More than likely they're not going to be able to do that. That's life altering. Self-mutilation is life-altering, because that's basically what that is. For someone like this as an actor to say these kind of things on a public forum as Bill Maher's show, where millions of people are watching is sickening and degrading. And I'm so sick and tired of these actors getting out here, flipping off at the mouth, talking crazy stuff. Once again, it is not a surprise to me that actors in Hollywood would say some off-base crazy stuff like this. It's not surprising because Hollywood is filled with demons in the spiritual realm, okay, that's afflicted the minds of a lot of these so-called actors. I hate Hollywood, okay? I don't like Hollywood, not the Hollywood of today. In the 70s and maybe the 80s, yeah, they was cool because they was making some of the best movies, best everything. But now they done become so evil and satanic and nasty. It's just absolutely unbelievable. And then you got to ask yourself a question. Why is there such a push to get our young children to transition over like this? Why is there such a push for that? Why is that so important to the radical left? Why is it? Because the only people that is pushing this are the radical left. It is what it is. If you're on the left, then I feel sorry for you because I'm the only ones pushing it. And the conservatives or the right, if you will, they need to start standing up and speaking out against this. Thank God Trump is coming in and we're going to have more freedom to do that. All right, voice our opinions on this garbage. But the only ones that are doing this is the radical left. It's the left doing this. They're the ones pushing this. And the question inevitably is this. Why is it so important for them to push this type of sexual agenda on our children? Why? And I remember one particular book I was reading some time ago that dealt with the concept of population control. Now, I am convinced, at least to some extent, part of the reason for that is population control. Now, you've been asking, what do I mean by that? Well, the elites, those that control the government, and it isn't the president, and it isn't even Congress, okay? I'm not going to go into the details of that, but it's much deeper, in my opinion, than what people think. The elites believe that we are nothing more than sheep that need to be ruled, that need to be controlled. This is their thoughts on us, okay? This is not something I'm making up. I've read their transcripts. I've read what they have said. And many of these high-level people at the top echelons of society, okay, believe that us little people are nothing but that. Little people, we are not even humans to them. We're sheep, nothing, it's meaningless to them. We're just slaves to them that they allow to live, that they're allowed to live in order to fill their pockets with money and so forth. Okay, that's weird for according to them. We're slaves designed to fill in the blocks of their new, oh boy, I almost said it, of their globalist agenda. Okay, all right, and we're nothing more, we're nothing less than that. However, if there's too many of us, it's harder to control us. So what are one of the ways in which they do that? Well, according to some documents and sources that I've read, wars, diseases. And when I say disease, I mean designer diseases that they create. Viruses, all the kind of stuff that they create. But also abortion. And also this transgenderism thing, the gay agenda, the LGBTQ community. Why they keep pushing it? Why the left keep pushing that so adamantly? Is it because they love these people? Oh, I love the gay people. Oh, I'm so in love with them. No. It's all about population control. Is because if just about every man is liking other men, then they're not going to want to engage sexually with women, and vice versa. Okay, people have said, well, I've had this discussion with someone that I know, and his response to me was that, well, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it more acceptable. You know, we see it in the commercials and you see it in movies, and they're trying to make it more acceptable. But I agree, but then I don't agree. I agree in that they're making it more trying to make it more acceptable, but they've already made it acceptable. They made it acceptable. It's everywhere, and no one's fighting against it. No one's saying nothing against it. You see this type of stuff in movies and sitcoms and commercials now. You see two men kissing in commercials now. No one's saying anything about it. They tolerate it. It's already acceptable. What they're trying to do, what the elites are trying to do, is get all the straight people to be the same way. That's the next goal, because if you have 60% of the population in America and even in the world, but I'm dealing with America in specific here, that's that way, okay, then clearly you're not going to be able to have babies, because two men ain't able to have babies and two women ain't able to have babies. I don't care what these nutbags say. Don't believe the hype, hoo-boo. It's a lie. That's a delusion, okay? It's not possible. It ain't happening. And they know that, and that keeps the numbers down, and it's easier to control the population for the NWO. That's, in my opinion, what part of that is all about. So I believe they're pushing that crap for those reasons. And people like this actor here, who thinks he's being so philosophical and so deep, okay, well, I think, it's like the back thousands of years ago when they suppressed left-handers and forced them to use their right hands. And then when whatever happened, the freedom came, then the the use of the left hand shot up. Oh, man, come on, man. What do you talk like this is the economy or something? I mean, what are you talking about? That's not deep. That's dumb. The comparison doesn't even match, bro. We're talking about morality here, sir. We're talking about life-altering things here to young kids. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with actors like that? I could do a whole separate video on that. It might just do that. Go on, man. You demented like a lot of them are. Okay, so yeah, that was as nice as I was going to get, people. Okay, because these people are demented, man. They demented. They have problems. None of us are perfect, but please, stuff like that need to be exposed. I don't care what it needs to be exposed. But at any rate, that's my take on this. This guy is off. He's weird. He needs help. He needs help. Okay. That's my take on it. What do you guys think? You agree with his argument about the left hand and the right hand, and he's using that as a comparison for young people who want to transition over? Now, do you think that argument is legit or not legit? I certainly think it's non-legit. It's goofy, crazy, satanic, and evil. That's what I think. What do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all. See you again.